Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'm going to review Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear is a new comedy that has some pretty gory elements to it, and it's loosely based on true events. And when I say loosely, I mean this movie is almost completely fabricated based off of just the fact that at one point in time a bear happened to eat cocaine that fell out of an airplane, and then it died and they discovered the bear. So they kind of just made up the entirety of this movie, which is perfectly fine. It's such a ridiculous premise that I'm glad they tried to kind of create this over-the-top narrative about what, could have happened if this bear started interacting with people and we have this apex predator, high out of its mind. And I think when this movie fully leans into the ridiculous nature of what's happening, it kind of goes full, almost cheesy B horror movie. I think it's fantastic. I think it does exactly what it needs to do. I think audiences will love those moments. But I do think when this movie tries to kind of form a narrative and tell some kind of real story or plot or be even the littlest bit serious, it doesn't work and it falls pretty flat. I felt like those moments kind of took me out of the film, and it felt a little bit longer because of those narrative threads. It is only about an hour and a half long, but it did feel much longer than that at times. As far as the actual bear itself, I think the visual effects looked pretty decent. They didn't look amazing. They weren't like world class, something like The Revenant or something like that, but you can't expect that from a film like this. And it almost adds to the comedic nature to it because the bear is so crazy when it's, running around attacking people, jumping, and just doing otherworldly things that it kind of adds the comedic element of it. And I was surprised at how gory the movie was. As someone who is a big fan of horror and B movies and kind of creature features and monster films, I felt like those elements worked really well for me. I do love a good, monster movie. I feel like in the early 2000s, we got so many movies that came out that revolved around big creatures or even making kind of monstrous versions of normal animals. Some of my favorite movies have been like Lake Placid or even Jaws or Mega Piranhas. All those movies that do that I find super entertaining. So this movie kind of filled that niche a little bit. I do think the acting overall it's fine. There's a lot of good comedic moments, but like I said, when anyone tries to be a little more serious or tries to try to inject some emotion into the movie, I don't think it really works, and I think it kind of breaks up the pacing a little bit. The movie does have some issues with the pacing. It starts off right off the bat. I was like, wow, this movie's going for it. It starts off right away. We're getting right into it. And then it slows down a little bit before we get going again. It's kind of creating that story of the drug dealers and why everyone's coming to the same forest at the same time. There's a lot of interweaving threads of these people coming together towards the end of the film. And I don't really know if we needed that. There felt like there were some characters and some subplots that never really paid off and didn't really have a purpose by the end of the movie. So it really felt like it could have been trimmed back a little bit. At an hour and a half, I don't know how you trim it even shorter. At some point, it just would become like a short film. But I do think it could have trimmed up or tightened up just a little bit with those narrative threads. So overall, if I were to rate Cocaine Bear, I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. Perfectly fine, ridiculous movie, and you pretty much do get what you expect from it. It's not going to do anything that's going to blow you away, but if you go into it expecting a crazy movie about a bear on cocaine attacking people, you're going to get that. And I think when it does it really well. So if you end up checking out Cocaine Bear, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? It feels like a movie that if you don't go into it and kind of turn off your brain and just expect the most ridiculous thing, you're going to find so many plot points and unnecessary things happening and so many dumb motivations from these characters. But if you do go in there and just kind of expect a dumb story, I think you're going to have fun with it. I think you can definitely have fun with this movie. It's something that I recommend checking out with friends. You can just laugh about how crazy it is. But just if you try to take it seriously, you might really not enjoy this one. So again, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. See you guys next time.